Hello, my name is Angelyn Harrell, and I'm a board-certified behavior analyst with the Alabama Psychiatric Medication Review Team. If you are continuing our 4-part video series on strategies to try in your home, welcome back. This is the second video in the series. If you haven't seen the first video on building a positive home environment, go watch that one now and then come back to this one. After this video, video 3 will focus on handling your child's junk behavior, and video 4 will focus on how to handle major problem behaviors. This video is going to focus on how to give instructions to your child so they are more likely to listen to you and do what you ask. Let's get started. When you're giving your child an instruction, stick to these 3 guidelines every time. Short, do, and follow through. Before giving a direction, try to provide some attention to your child or get closer to your child. You can do this by crouching next to your child, touching their shoulder, and asking them to look at you. If your child is busy playing with toys, you may need to interrupt them by guiding them to put their toys down before asking them to look at you. When you're ready to give that direction, the guideline, short, means that you should use only a few words in your instruction and only give them one direction to follow at a time. Giving one short direction can help make sure your child doesn't get lost in too many words or forget what it was you were telling them to do. Do means to tell your child what they should be doing instead of focusing on what you want them to stop doing. If you just tell your child what they shouldn't be doing, they might get confused. Maybe they don't really know what to do instead. So telling your child what not to do also puts your attention on the not so good behaviors, which isn't the best way to encourage good behaviors from your child. Check out video 1 again if you need a refresher on this idea. Telling your child what to do instead will help them know exactly what to expect from them, can help them learn the right thing to do next time, and brings the focus to the positive things again. Let's look at some examples to better understand this guideline. Put your Legos in the box. This is short and tells your child exactly what to do. Stop coloring on your sister's coloring page. Although this is a pretty short direction, it doesn't provide your child with anything else to do. Instead, say something like, color in your coloring book to teach your child and make it more likely that they'll do the better behavior. Remember to keep it short. After you give that short, do direction, follow through. Follow through means that you are ready to make sure they do what you said. If you don't follow through with your instruction, you are teaching your child that they don't have to listen to you, and they may be less likely to follow the next instruction you give them. If your child follows through without you using these next steps, we're going to go over, give them praise and positive attention to encourage them to do what you ask more often. Following through can look different depending on how mature your child's skill set is. For children about the age of 6 and under, we use 3-step prompting. I'm going to use our put your Legos in the box example to teach you this strategy. If you gave an instruction and your child does not do what you told them the first time, say something like, do it like this, and show them how to do it. So if they aren't picking up their Legos right after you told them to, pick up a few and put them in the box, but don't finish the task. Just do a small part of it. Then they can see what you want. Give your child a few seconds to see if they will do what you showed them. If your child still doesn't do what you showed them, physically guide them to complete the task. So for our Lego example, you would guide their hand to the Lego, close their hand gently around a few, and then guide their hand over the box and have them put them in the box. We use this strategy because it can help teach children how to do tasks. Even if you have seen your child do this task before, this strategy is still good for reminding your child of your expectations and showing them that you are going to have to complete the task with you if they don't do it on their own. This is a strategy you use almost any time you give a direction requiring a physical task. If your child is over the age of 6, we use a slightly different strategy. Older children typically have more skills already, and teaching them unknown skills by guiding them through it may cause some conflict and take away some of their autonomy. For your older child, you're going to want to eliminate other distractions until they have followed your directions. Like if the TV is on, turn that off. Or if they want to play outside, make them wait and finish what you've asked them to do first. You may have to repeat your instruction about once a minute until the older child does what you've told them to do. Now that you've learned how to follow through on your instructions, it'll be important to stop yourself before you give a direction and make sure it's really a direction worth giving and following through on. Making ourselves follow through can help us as parents learn what's an important instruction and what's an optional instruction. In our last video, we talked about how you have to stick to your word when you say no to your child's request. It's the same thing when you give a direction. You have to be prepared to stick to it. If your child's daily chore is to feed the cat, that's probably a good one to keep teaching. When it comes time for homework or a list of other chores, though, it won't really matter which assignment or chore they do first as long as they get around to all of them. These are situations where you can allow a little more freedom and give your child choice in their order of activities. Using choices and giving your child a say in what they do can help them have some autonomy and reduce some problem behaviors that may happen when you give them instructions. Check out video 1 if you need a refresher on giving choices. For example, if your child has 2 homework assignments they have to do, tell them they can pick which one they do first. This is a good strategy to use when your child can do one of 2 things, or when your child has multiple tasks but the order doesn't matter. If the order of the task does matter, you can use a first-then statement with your child. Give your child an instruction and tell them what can happen after it's done. This is a good strategy to help motivate your child to do something they don't like in order to be allowed to do something they want. This can reduce problem behavior and encourage your child to do what you've asked because your child will have a clear picture of what they have to do and what fun thing they can get after it's done. For example, you can tell your child, first mow the lawn, and then we can go to the pool. That sounds like a good deal to me too. This brings us to the end of our video on how to give instructions your child will be more likely to follow. Remember our catchphrase here, short, do, and follow through. Before giving an instruction, consider if it's worth following through on. Try to give your child some attention and make them look at you before you give them a short direction. Make sure direction tells them what you want them to do, because this makes it more likely they'll do what you want. Follow through on your directions by using 3-step prompting for your younger child, or by repeating your instruction to your older child. When giving an instruction, you can give your child some choices to help them feel like they have a little more control. Remember, this can reduce their problem behavior surrounding directions. You can also use first-then statements to motivate your child to do what you've asked by telling them they can do something more fun after they've finished. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something. Remember, short, do, and follow through, using choices, and motivate your child with first-then statements. This video on giving instructions is the second video in a 4-part series on strategies we recommend using in your home. If you missed video 1 on building a positive environment, go back and watch that video to better understand the strategies in this video. Follow the link below to take the quiz over these strategies, and then move on to video 3 to learn how to handle your child's junk behaviors. For any additional information on medication, behavior, and the APMRT project, follow us on our Facebook page, check out our website, or reach out to us to make a referral. Thank you.